if I traded it all.
Welcome to the show, everyone. And as all of you know, I made it possible for everybody to talk about themselves on the radio. So if you want to get yourself heard on my show, Networking Arizona, all you have to do is give us a call here at the station, and we'll get you hooked up with me. Check me out on networkingarizona.net and get yourself heard on Networking Arizona. I'm going to go in with my first guest, who I am very excited about bringing on. He's here live with me today, and he is my sponsor. I have with me Chad Gamage, and he is the owner, CEO of Arizona Retirement Company. Welcome to the show, back to the show, I should say. I'm so glad you're here with me here. And tell everybody a little bit about yourself. You know, you've got a very relationship-based business, so tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure. Well, Carol, it's great to be back. It's been a while. And as always, your audience is a great base to talk to, and what you do for Phoenix is great for small businesses.
Thank you.
So Arizona Retirement Company is a firm that I started because I wasn't satisfied with my own retirement planning situation that I was in. I was just like everybody else 10 years ago, working hard, trying to get ahead, saving for retirement, and you know, the Great Recession comes by, and when it left, half my money went with it. And
you and everybody else.
Yeah, and I didn't like the response I got from the industry, the people that I trusted with my money. And I blame myself a little bit. You know, I guess I knew there was risk involved with IRAs, 401ks, these types of retirement accounts, and I just I didn't like being told that I shouldn't worry about it, and that I was in it for the long run, that it would come back. And I thought, it just doesn't feel like a plan to me. It feels more like a chance. And so I looked around, and I couldn't find what I was looking for, something that would protect my money and at the same time give me a promise of lasting financial independence, which I think retirement planning should be about. It's about guaranteeing that you can retire someday, that you can achieve financial independence and maintain that without the risk, the things that they don't really tell us about.
Well, you have done some really incredible things that no one else has done, because you created these different programs that you have, which we're going to talk a little bit about today for people. I've been in your office. It's a beautiful office, and I love the way that you are really all about the education part of all of this, you know, and you don't just say it. You really walk the talk. You really do it. So I want you to kind of explain about some of that you do for people on that.
Yeah, it comes from the origin, really. You know, I didn't learn what I know by working for a bank or working for a financial institution. To me, I've learned that those are sales organizations, and that people are generally trying to sell products and get people to turn their money over to them and trust them. And for me, it was, you know, I wanted to educate myself. So everything I learn, I share that with my clients in a way that makes a lot of sense to them, just like it made sense to me. So the approach is different, and the approach is about empowerment and making good decisions and making sense of all this. And so that's where it all comes from. But from that, you know, I made my own strategy. I found something that worked for me, and that's what I call modern retirement design. That gave me everything that I was looking for, and that's what brought me into this industry, because if it's good enough for me and I'm not the easiest person to please, then it's going to be good for a lot of people, because I don't think I'm the only person that wants to be protected when it comes to my money, protected in my retirement, and maybe take the chances or risk only later, after I've made sure I've accomplished my goals for my financial independence first.
So I do want to talk about those, but I also want to say that want you to tell everybody how you are also a certified, Social Security. How do you say that? Because I can't remember what it is exactly. But you're certified, which makes you different. Go ahead.
Yeah, National Social Security Advisors.
That's it. Okay, so I wanted to get that out because it's important. Because one of the things that we do want to talk about is that. And how you do these analysis for everybody. And what do you want to talk about first? Because it's important. You know, which one? Well, both of them are.
That's a great place to start, because you know that's something that really affects everybody, right? We're all hoping to have it. We're all expecting to have it someday. So let's make sure we don't leave any money on the table. But I became certified because I wanted to make sure I understood everything and I could share that information and not overlook it, because some people think it's not a big deal. They think, well, I'm going to get $20,000 a year in Social Security. Well, if you're collecting it for 10 years, that's $200,000. If it's 20 years, that's a lot of money. It's bigger than some people's IRAs and 401ks. So let's make sure we don't overlook the obvious.
Sure. Now, you do these analysis for people.
Mm-hmm.
You always do free consultations.
Yes.
Right? And you are I don't know what you want to do in terms of this. I know you're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Do you want to open it up to the audience for people to be able to get some of this that we've done before, which would be the free analysis that you have offered before?
Yeah, sure. That's kind of just a open ticket for any of your listeners to give us a call, and we'll put together the Social Security analysis for you, and we'll sit down and have a free consultation with you as well.
I think that's a good idea for everybody, especially if you're not sure as to when to take it, when's the right thing. And by the way, if you think you could go and try and do it on your own and go up online and try and figure it out, it's not a good idea to do that. It's always a good idea to talk to a professional, and that's what Chad is. So I'm going to open up the lines to the audience for everyone to call in. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm going to let everyone call in throughout the rest of the show for everything. We're live on Facebook, so I want to say hi to everybody out there that's watching, and please like us, follow us, and if you're watching this and you're saying this might be for somebody else that tell them about it. That's what networking is all about. You're located in Gilbert. You have a beautiful office. I've been there. The website is azretirement.co.com. You can call them direct. That number is 480-524-0508, or keep on calling here. We've got our lines open here, and everyone's getting entered. Well, we're going to give everyone that's free for the free Social Security analysis. Again, that number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Is there anything that they need to know more about that Social Security analysis that you do that you want to talk about right now?
Well, you got nothing to lose by getting some expert advice about it. So if you're having thoughts about when and how, well, reach out to us. Let us show you some information and help you make that decision.
Sure. And again, that number to call him direct, it's 480-524-0508. He does a free consultation, or you can call in here and get it from me for free. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. It's azretirementco.com. Okay, so let's then focus a little bit on that modern retirement design, because no one else has this, guys, so listen up. We got 2 minutes.
All right. Well, it could take longer, but I'll
do
try
that
to be
after
quick.
the break. Go ahead.
In short, the modern retirement design is what gives me and my family, peace of mind going into retirement, because we know what to expect. We've set our goals, and we're doing the things in the way that are necessary in order to ensure that financial independence. And so that peace of mind, you can only get it from those types of guarantees going forward, and take the risk out of it. Avoid those traps that could jeopardize your retirement, and modern retirement design can fix that for you.
So, okay, let's talk a little bit about it, okay? What would be the first thing that you, what do they need from you to bring to you, or how does that work when in the beginning of it, how do they see it start?
Sure, it's actually part of a comprehensive analysis, as you know. The process around it is very unusual. You need to be a little patient, because you're going to learn so much from this. At first, it's going to seem a little overwhelming, but once we get towards the end, you're going to be so excited. You're going to be sitting at the edge of your seat, and you're going to be saying, "Hey, I get this now. I understand what we need to do. I understand how to do it, and this changes everything." And
I have been shown by you, an example of the amount of work that goes into it and what you learn out of it, and it is incredible what people do not realize. They don't until they talk to them, and it's amazing of what you do. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the lines open. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk further about this. It's the modern retirement design. He's the only one that has it because he created it, and no one else does. So we've got our lines open here, and everyone's getting a free Social Security analysis from him. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Check him out on his website. It's azretirementco.com.
If I traded it all, if I gave it
Welcome back.
all away for
So we are talking with Chad Gamage, and he is, there we go, he's the CEO of Arizona Retirement Company. And, you know, we've been talking at the break a little bit. This modern retirement design that you have created is something that no one else has, and it is something that when people actually have you do this for them, they literally find out so much information about themselves that they would not know whether if they didn't do this or not, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah.
let's talk about it.
So, you know, my clients, they become advocates for what we do. They actually talk about it with friends and family. And I think that's pretty unusual because I don't remember in my own circumstances before this all began ever talking to any close family or friends about, you know, financial situations. And I think everybody just kind of defaulted to their HR department or their guy down at the bank, and that was about the end of it. But you know, when I talk about the process that we go through, it educates and it empowers them, and they feel good. They feel like they need to share it with people that are important to them.
So what would be something that you could share with them that would be something that would pop out at them and go, wow, I had no idea?
Oh, geez. One of the first things that they learn in the discovery phase, and that's the part at the beginning of this process, it's a little overwhelming because you're going to feel like you're sitting in front of your parents. I might be 10 or 15 years younger than you, but you're going to feel like you're being asked questions by your parents or about your budget, about the things that you're doing, the way you're living, and things that just make a difference when it comes to the math. And the part that really gets people sometimes angry, sometimes real emotional, is when we audit their accounts. I'm talking their 401ks or IRAs or managed money accounts, because they kind of have these ideas of what they're getting for a return all these years, and we're talking about people that don't look at their statements, where they just kind of feel that they're supposed to be getting something, and when we audit it sometimes just is a real heartbreaker for them. Because
so what is something that they could find out? I mean, when you audit this, first of all, just do most people even know that they can be audited?
Probably not. Probably not.
Are those accounts auditable?
They don't. Again, they don't look at their statements, right? They're not transparent. Everybody opens up the envelope when they do look at it, and they look for the biggest number, and if it's bigger than the last time,
that's it.
What do you got to complain about, right? But what we do is we take out, since the inception, all of the fees and the cost, and this is with the company, with the 401k sponsor, whoever the IRA is with, and we get the information directly from them. And when it's all said and done, you've got a net rate of return since the inception, and when you see that, you realize you're not even as competitive as you thought you'd be. In fact, it's quite often half of what you thought it was going to be. So that's the big thing right there.
So there's a lot of people out there that even might already have, let's say, a financial advisor. Mm-hmm. Is it a good idea to have someone like you do, is have a second opinion about what they're doing, or how does that work with you? Or do you usually just, who's your client? I mean, is it everyone?
Well, when it comes to second opinions, you can go to Google and you can find any financial advisor. Everyone's going to offer you a second opinion. What I've learned in this business is that second opinion is often someone trying to sell you their favorite product or get you to switch to their fund of the month. That's their opinion. What we do is far different. It's very comprehensive, and it's a matter of information that you're going to get, and you're going to use it, and you're not going to forget it, because you're actually going to feel like you're in control. So the average client, I don't know if there is an average client. We get younger people that are learning about compounding, returns with compounding interest, and you get people that are retired or close to retirement, and they want to protect what they have. But the thing is, most of what we get are referrals, and in this business, that's unheard of. Because probably it's a sales approach, and most people are uncomfortable when they're being sold something. Our approach to it is totally different, and they share it with the people that are important to them. And so we're a referral-based company, which I don't know of any other one out there that does that with retirement plan. Not like we do, We don't ask for them. We don't have to. The phone will ring. You talk to so-and-so, you met with so-and-so, coworker, family, and
Tell them about it.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, we do have our lines open here. They always do free consultations with everyone. And our number here, because he's going to do a free Social Security analysis for everybody, comes along with a free consultation as well. You can call in here. They are 8+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. And our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone's going to get it, so you can call in here throughout the rest of the show for it. You should check them out on the website. It's azretirementco.com. You can also call them direct. Their number is 480-524-0508. Okay, I want to kind of go more into the plan, all right? So obviously that's one of the things that they're going to find out, is they're probably going to not get as much money as they thought.
Yeah, and that's because of RATS, R-A-T-S, the retirement account trap. Most people aren't familiar with what causes the problems within their retirement accounts, and it's consistent. If you have a 401k, you have an IRA, a TSP, even managed money accounts, you're going to fall into this trap. It's been happening. And if you want to have some fun, if you're sitting at home right now or you're driving, don't do it now, but do it when you get home. Go to Google and pull up a Google S&P 500 historical chart, and you'll see it from the beginning of time, but focus on the period of time where you've been saving for retirement. And take a look at the periods of time when the accounts lose value, point A, and measure the time to point B when that account so-called recovers. And you can visualize that is actually a trap. It's your money's doing absolutely nothing for you during that time. It's wasting valuable years that we only have a limited supply of years of time for saving for retirement. And you can average that out, the wasted years to the years that you're actually saving for retirement. And for example, if you're 55 years old and you started when you were 25 years old, that's 30 years. And you look at the RATs, the retirement account traps, that's what I call them.
I love that.
And just measure the periods of a year or longer. You get 5 periods, and 3 of them are pretty short, but 2 of them are some real doozies. You find out that over that 30 years, 17 of those years, your money's been in a trap. We're talking wasted years. We're talking the investments did absolutely nothing for you. So 57% of the time, if you look at that, 17 years out of 30. And, the only exception being that Wall Street got paid 100% of the time, which, by the way, keeps you in the trap longer. It delays that recovery period. So there's no relief during that time. So, stay out of the trap. Keep the rats out of your retirement. And that's what the modern retirement design does. That's what it did for me.
Okay, so how does that work? I mean, how does that process work?
Yeah, well, effectively, it puts a lid over the trap, so you don't fall into it. So you're going to get the benefit of upside potential, upside growth, but you don't have the downside risk. So you're progressing towards financial independence always. You're always moving forward.
So the person that's calling you, obviously the sooner the better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Compounding interest isn't a bad thing.
But if somebody hasn't, and they're, obviously a little bit older, because usually people don't think about all of this stuff until they are older for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you it straight out. Is it too late?
It's never too late until you're in the trap. So we're not in the trap now, but it's a good time to talk about it. It's a good time to look at things and see what your situation is.
Right.
Maybe you can't afford another trap. Maybe you're getting ready to retire in a couple of years and something could happen. We don't know. No crystal ball here, but you got to ask yourself, how much time do you have left? What are your plans to retire? Are you going to retire at 70, or are you okay working to 75 if you have to, under certain circumstances? So
sure.
It's just a matter of maybe protect what you have now and then continue to do what you're still doing, but it doesn't mean you have to risk what you have.
Well, you got to check him out. All the information's on his website. It is azretirementco.com. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. We've got our lines open here, and everyone is getting the free consultation along with the Social Security analysis. That's the start. That's the start of all of this, and then then you can kind of go further. And believe me, I think everyone should do it. I know I said to you, I'm going to you, you know. And again, our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. His phone number, if you want to call him direct, it's 480-524-0508. They do free consultations always. What are your last final words for today?
Well, you know, the math doesn't lie. I believe in what we're doing from our approach to it. The complex math, the technology that I've invested is substantial, and you know, to see the mathematical modeling or scenarios that we can create for you to take the what if out of it.
Well, check him out. It's something that I think everybody needs to do. It's not something we like to listen or talk about all the time, but you know what? It's important. It's some great information.
It can be fun.
And it can be made fun. Again, the lines are open here. We're going to let you call throughout the rest of the show. Get the beginning, which is a Social Security analysis. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Check them out. It's azretirementco.com.